She has weird marks on body. When nurses saw what it was, they called the cops. No one accept her condition. Even when she go to hospitals, they called cops to be prevented from touching anything. The world is filled with amazing people who were born with odds stacked against them, and today we are exploring the world of medical anomalies. A young Bangladeshi girl with bark-like warts growing on her face could be the first female ever afflicted by so-called tree man syndrome, doctors say. Sahana Khatun, 10, has the telltale gnarled growth sprouting from her chin, ear, and nose, but doctors at Dhaka's Medical College Hospital are still conducting tests to establish if she has the unusual skin disorder. Less than half a dozen people worldwide have epidermal dysplasia verruciformis, but none so far have been women, said Samantha Lal Sen, the head of the hospital's burn and plastic surgery unit. Sahana Khatun was admitted to Dhaka Medical College and Hospital on Sunday with unusual marks and growths on her face. She has bark-like warts growing on her chin, nose, and ear, Dr. Samantha Lal Sen, chief plastic surgeon at the hospital, told CNN. Sahana first developed the disease 8 years ago when her father found some rashes on her face. Only since last year have the tree-like warts begun sprouting on her face. The symptoms are thought to be that of epidermal dysplasia verruciformis, a rare heritable disease. There have only been a handful of cases reported around the world. Those with the condition are likely to develop malignant skin tumors. We don't know yet if this is 100% a tree man syndrome, but it definitely is a variety of the epidermal dysplasia verruciformis, disease which causes very unusual skin disorder, Lalsen said. The condition is caused by a defect in the immune system, which increases one's susceptibility to cutaneous HPV, or human papillovirus. Sahana lost her mother when she was 6 and lives with her father, a laborer. Due to a weak financial condition of the family, the hospital is bearing all of their medical and personal costs, Lalsen said. Doctors at the hospital are planning to operate and remove Sahana's lesions as early as next week. Lalsen said her condition is not very serious, and since she has a milder form of the disease, the team is confident that they can clear Sahana's face within one surgery. I want to live like a normal person. Another of Khatun's doctors said the young patient was displaying a milder form of the disease, and it was hoped she would make a quicker recovery than those in the more advanced stages. The hospital has been treating one man with a serious case of the disease for the better part of a year, conducting 16 surgical procedures to remove giant warts from his hands and legs. Abul Bajandar, the well-known tree man of Bangladesh, is going through treatment at the same hospital. After many groundbreaking surgeries, doctors were able to remove the tree-like branches that were growing out from his fingers, palms, and feet. Bajandar, 27, lived with his growth for years before beginning surgery to remove them last February. Since then, he has had 19 procedures to restore his hands and will undergo a few before he is released from the hospital. Before the surgery, Bajandar could not eat, drink, brush his teeth, or take a shower by himself. The only thing he could do was scratch his neck. Lalsen told CNN that Bajandar is now in very good shape and can eat and write using his own hands. The final procedures, he said, are more for beautification. I want to live like a normal person. I just want to be able to hold my daughter properly and hug her, Bajandar told CNN last year. The doctors now hope to offer similar hope to the young. Tree man syndrome is an extremely rare condition, more formally known as epidermal dysplasia verruciformis. It's caused by unusual vulnerability to the human papillomavirus. The Telegraph reports that only 4 cases, all in men, have been documented prior to Sahana. An Indonesian man died from the disease last year, but Abul Bajandar, who had growths on his hands and legs weighing up to 11 pounds, has undergone more than a dozen surgeries at the hospital in Dhaka and is close to being released. Sahana is being tested to confirm she does indeed have tree man syndrome. Doctors say it appears to be a mild case and believe it could take just one surgery to remove the growths from Sahana's face. This rare disease can make you think you're dead. This woman has a hard journey with people and how they called her a monster. A woman with a rare skin condition that forces her to smother herself in SPF 100 sunscreen every 2 hours, even while inside her home with the curtains closed, reveals she stays positive despite her challenges because life only happens once. Corinne de Souza, 29, from Fortaleza in Brazil, was diagnosed with xeroderma pigmentosum when she was 3 years old. Every time her skin is exposed to ultraviolet rays, she is at risk of skin cancer because she is deficient in the DNA system that repairs damage. But despite the constant risk of melanoma, Corinne says she prefers to smile instead of crying and wants others to share her upbeat attitude to life. Corinne has had 130 surgical procedures to remove lesions caused by the sun, including the removal of her lower lip and part of her nose. She told Truly, "I am the target of a lot of glances, a lot of people staring at me, some of them distance themselves." She explained when she does go outside, people look at her in disgust before calling her names. Inside her home, she closes the curtains to keep out the natural light and only ventures out for doctor's appointments in darkness or on rainy days. 3 years ago, she met her husband Edmilson through social media. Edmilson says he fell in love with her story and her strength. Soon after they started dating, the couple posted photos of them together online, and this led to comments questioning the legitimacy of their relationship. Corinne explained, "We have already read many offensive comments calling me a monster, deformed, a zombie. Others suggested she was Edmilson's sugar mommy and that she must be rich." Despite any setbacks, Corinne is very happy and enjoys life. She wants others to realize the importance of being positive. "Be happy, smile, because life only happens once," she said. "No one loves me, I love myself." A woman who suffered from an extremely rare skin disease where her skin grew too fast for her body has tragically died. Hannah Batts, 32, died in hospital on May 18th, surrounded by her family after a year-long battle with cancer. She has been praised as an inspiration after she refused to let her condition, called harlequin ichthyosis, define her life. The disorder, which Hannah's sister Lucy also lives with, affects only 1 in 300,000 babies. Lucy, 35, said, "I still don't think I can believe she's gone. Sometimes I want to see her so badly that I feel I can't breathe. It's a very big roller coaster of emotions. It's very hard. I knew exactly how she felt. She stayed with me for the last couple of years. My whole life revolved around her, and we were so lucky to have her in our lives. I'll always remember her smile. She was so loving. She loved with her whole being. If you wanted to know if your bum looked big in something, we would ask Hannah." I was born different, but I still believe in justice. She medically can't turn that frown upside down. A New Zealand woman born with a so-called resting bitch face has been left unable to crack a smile due to a rare 1 in 4 million congenital condition. However, her permanent sourpuss hasn't stopped her from becoming a decorated athlete and inspiring people going through similar struggles. "I now know I was born to stand out," Taylor Clement, 24, told Jam Press of the unusual neurological disorder called Mobius syndrome, which affects the muscles that control facial expression and eye movement. As a result of her affliction, Clement has spent her entire life unable to move her eyes from left to right, raise her eyebrows, or even wiggle her upper lip. "It's not always been easy," lamented Clement. "I've spent many years hating my smile, wishing I had a normal smile, wishing I just didn't exist because that seemed easier than being alive, but by some miracle I'm still here." Unfortunately, Mobius has no cure, although the symptoms can be treated. At age 12, frozen-face Clement underwent a smile operations in which doctors transplanted soft tissue from her thigh to her face in an effort to restore her smile. However, the procedure failed, leaving Clement with a swollen and bruised face. Due to her bizarre countenance, the then preteen got bullied mercilessly when she started a new school shortly thereafter. "I got laughed at," explained Clement. "Kids would scream in my face and say that they were scared of me, but then would run away laughing. I felt super isolated." And her tormentors didn't stop at mere verbal taunts. "The list goes on, but I also had sheep poo thrown at me, would be rushed down hills, have my bag emptied on the floor," added the besieged schoolgirl, who reportedly lied about her predicament to her parents to avoid burdening them. Clement recalled showing up to school on her 16th birthday, an occasion on which kids normally receive balloons and cake from peers, only to be ignored and gifted a half-eaten block of chocolate, Jam Press reported. Even the teachers treated Clement differently. To put upon pupil described, "I would be the only person with my hand up in class and the teacher would just look at me and then look away and not pick me to ask a question. Everything that happened did play a lot on my self-confidence and my self-worth," she said. As a result of the constant bullying, Clement began to feel suicidal, a feeling that started a mere 6 months after her operation. Between then and the time she graduated from high school, the teen had attempted to take her own life a whopping 6 times. Clement was officially diagnosed with severe clinical depression and anxiety, with PTSD and dissociative attacks at the age of 16, whereupon she quit the swimming team. Salvation finally came after Clement, who has a club foot due to her condition, who was contacted by Para-Athletics of New Zealand. She dove back into athletics head first, setting the #1 shot put throw at the Victorian State Championships in Melbourne in 2018, the Daily Star reported. The following year, Clement competed at the New Zealand National Championship, where she threw a distance of 8.28 meters, shattering the world record in the F43 classification. The decorated para-athlete has since retired from sports and taken up public speaking to inspire others who suffer from facial abnormalities. To be a source of inspiration, empowerment, and hope for others is so amazing, gushed the former shot putter, who documents her journey for her 18,500 followers on Instagram. And while it might seem paradoxical, Clement feels she has her facial deformity to thank for her success. I stand very firm on the fact that the operation not being successful was 100% a blessing, and I'm so grateful for the operation not working because not being able to smile is the greatest gift I could have ever been given, exclaimed the influencer. Yes, it's taken me right down to below rock bottom, but it has given me the opportunity to be a face and voice of hope and inspiration for others. She added, "It has given me a platform to share my story, to empower others, and ultimately given me a purpose for being on this earth."